Dog were not hurt.
There's a lot going on in our lives right now, but that's okay. We'll be okay. We always are.
The driver of the car was taken to the hospital. Police say they don't suspect any criminal wrongdoing. In West Valley City, Adam Small, KSL News Radio.
A Lyft driver has been charged with kidnapping after a 15-year-old girl says he began driving in the opposite direction of her destination, forcing her to jump from the moving car. KSL News Radio's Claire Scott has the story.
According to charging documents, the 15-year-old from West Jordan was on her way to Salt Lake City when 44-year-old Victor Montilla began driving south. Police say Montilla told her he was having connection issues and canceled the ride. The girl's mother was watching her location and called her when the ride was canceled and told her to get out of the car. The girl told police she asked Montilla to stop but ended up jumping out of the car when he didn't respond.
Police say Montilla told investigators he was looking for a place to pull over when the girl jumped out. We'll talk more about rideshare safety with former FBI agent Greg Rogers today at 2:10. Stay with Midday to hear that later on. KSL's top national stories. Law enforcement in the West was recently warned that Iran wants to retaliate for American attacks by launching offensive drones against California. Former national security counterterrorism official and ABC News contributor Havid Ali says it's unlikely the Iranians have the resources to attack the U.S. with drones.
I actually don't put a lot of stock in the veracity of that. Now, I know the FBI reported it, and it was probably done out of an abundance of caution, but that type of scenario just does not seem plausible to me at any level. And having looked at the pattern of Iranian attempts to actually conduct acts of terrorism in the United States over the past 15 years, they have not even remotely come close to anything like that from a capability perspective.
The FBI sent out an alert to top officials. California Governor Gavin Newsom saying he was aware of the threat and shared it with local law enforcement. Iran's new supreme leader Ayatollah Mohammad Khamenei relayed a message on Iranian state TV today this morning, and the first time he's spoken publicly since his father's death and his appointment. ABC's Marcus Moore said that the Strait of Hormuz would remain closed and also suggested Iran would try to find other areas in the Middle East to attack.
It's also notable when we talk about this statement that the Ayatollah, the new Ayatollah, did not appear on camera. We also have not heard his voice. He's reportedly been recovering at a hospital, according to sources, where he suffered injuries, according to those sources, to his legs. He was injured in the same airstrike that killed his father and other family members.
That's ABC's Marcus Moore. First Look Traffic, here's Ricky Meese.
It's a crash-free start to your noontime drive. We do have some slower speeds southbound I-15 in Davis County in Kaysville. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL News Time, 12:05.
Think about this. In 2006, $20,000 equaled roughly 33 ounces of gold at the spot price. At today's prices, those 33 ounces would be worth over $150,000. Smart Americans diversify a portion of their savings into precious metals. That's why I buy gold from Birch Gold Group. It's a crucial part of my balanced strategy. Gives me peace of mind given all the events that could impact the U.S. economy. See if holding gold in a tax-sheltered retirement account is right for you too. Birch Gold can help you convert an existing IRA or 401k into an IRA in gold. Just text my name, Dan, to the number 989898 to receive your free info kit on gold. There's no obligation, just useful information. With an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau and tens of thousands of happy customers, let Birch Gold help you diversify with gold. Now that's peace of mind. Text Dan to 989898. Again, text my name, Dan, to the number 989898 today. Message and data rates apply.
There's something about this time of year when it's easy to get the blahs. The holidays are in the rearview mirror. Even Valentine's Day is in the rearview mirror. It's time to put a little sparkle in your life, and that's Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. And here along the Wasatch Front, we have two locations. Hotel Park City. If you're up enjoying a day of skiing, wrap up that day with a delicious meal at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. And then, of course, there are great fun activities that are happening in downtown Salt Lake City, sporting events, movies, you name it. And again, right there at 275 Southwest Temple, there's a Ruth's Chris Steakhouse waiting for you. The food is prepared perfectly and delivered on that 500-degree sizzling plate. Whether it's a steak, poultry dish, seafood, everything cooked to your expectations at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. And the side dish dishes and the desserts, they are simply legendary. Downtown Salt Lake City and Hotel Park City, Ruth's Chris Steakhouse.
Police are responding to a shooting at a synagogue in Michigan. They reportedly drove a car into the building before the shooting. The situation is ongoing. KSL News Time is 12:07. St. George police arrested a man on DUI charges after they say he leaned back to grab his phone charger and drove into a construction zone and over 2 open manhole covers, one of which had a worker inside. The construction worker was okay, but the driver was taken to jail. A major development could take place in a high-profile death penalty case in Utah tomorrow, but the odds are good we won't know exactly what's happening. Doug Lovell is awaiting a new sentencing for the 1985 murder, kidnapping, and rape of Joyce Yost. The hearing tomorrow has been closed to the public, including KSL News Radio's Dave Cawley, who covered Yost's murder in the 2nd season of the Cold podcast.
This all culminated with the judge overseeing the case calling a sealed hearing. So again, a hearing where the lawyers will be present, but we in the media or in the public are not allowed in to go over whatever dispute appears to be taking place behind the curtain. So we don't really know what the substance of this dispute is. It appears that there may be something going on between the lawyer who represented Lovell during his latest round of appeals and his currently appointed lawyers. But again, we just don't know because we're not allowed in on that process.
Lovell's attorneys are arguing that attorney-client privilege would be at stake if the hearing is open. KSL appealed the decision to close the hearing, and that was denied. We're appealing that decision on the grounds that the public has a right to know what's happening in such a high-profile case with taxpayer dollars at stake. Yost's body has never been found. The nurse accused of killing her friend with an insulin overdose is in court this week. Prosecutors say Megan Sundwall encouraged her friend to overdose so she could benefit from her life insurance policy. Texts between the two are being used as evidence, with Sundwall encouraging suicidal ideation and telling her she would help her overdose. Sundwall's lawyers argue there's no evidence she actually did administer anything to her. KSL News Time, 12:09. Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on the 9. Brought to you by UCCU. Earn 4.24% on savings at uccu.com. Here's Ricky Meese.
It's a quiet start to your noontime drive. No accidents. We've had a little bit of busy and slow traffic for Davis County drivers. Southbound I-15 by the Kaysville Ponds on the way to Shepherd Lane. Your Salt Lake County freeways, all clear. Main secondaries look good. You're also in a good shape driving I-15 through Utah County. Higher elevations, a beautiful day to head to the slopes, whether you're in Provo Canyon, Big or Little Cottonwood, or I-80 in Parleys. Gear up for adventure at the Utah RV Super Show. Shop for top brands, talk with experts, and see the latest 2026 RVs, March 19th through 22nd at Mountain America Expo Center. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Warm weather returns to the Wasatch today. I've got a high of 67 degrees with a bit of a west breeze, mostly sunny skies. Overnight, we'll go to 44, but rebounding to 69. We might even see a 70 tomorrow, partly cloudy. Mostly cloudy and 65 by Saturday afternoon. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
Right now, it is 57 degrees in Provo and 61 degrees in Salt Lake City. Coming up on Midday, we'll talk to the big game coordinator at the Division of Wildlife Resources about why it's important to keep your dog on a leash in the spring. That's coming up, streaming live at KSLNewsRadio.com and on the app for KSL News Radio. We're Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement, and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hard-working partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
445,000 Utahns, including 1 in 5 Utah kids, face hunger.
Join Utah Food Bank and Associated Food Stores for the Feed Utah Food Drive, March 7th through 14th, to donate non-perishable food while you shop at any participating Associated Food Store. Or organize your own food drive and drop off donations at your local store. Every donation stays right here to help local families move from hunger to hope. Donate and learn at utahfoodbank.org/feedutah.
My friend Joey means well.
Always remember that the early bird gathers no moss.
But he gets a little confused.
You know, you can't make a silk purse out of a wooden nickel.
Like Joey, many of us can be confused when it comes time to plan for retirement. When to take Social Security, how to use that 401k, what about the stock market, taxes, and Medicare? Todd Kim at Galileo Wealth Management can help to simplify retirement planning. His goal is to have you walk into retirement with confidence, not worry, and to address the number one concern among retirees today, the fear of running out of money. Call Galileo Wealth today for a no-cost, no-obligation meeting to talk about the details of your retirement. 385-247-7000. It's 385-247-7000 or online, GalileoWealth.com. And remember,
one man's trash is thicker than water. Of course, water's not thick at all, it's watery.
We've really slowed down.
Much calmer.
Very quiet.
Ovation Homes, single-level living with fewer obstacles and more opportunities. You never have to act your age at Ovation Homes. To learn more about your next home, find a community, or speak to an Ovation specialist, visit OvationHomesUtah.com. That's OvationHomesUtah.com.
Let's be responsible.
Yeah, absolutely.
That counts.
Safe, secure, and built for comfort. With locations in Syracuse, West Point, and Layton. Downsize without compromise. With a home that truly fits your lifestyle. To learn more and see all the amenities, visit OvationHomesUtah.com. That's OvationHomesUtah.com. Your best years start at Ovation Homes.
Any Hour Services can help unclog any drain in your house. Whether you have a backup, a clog, or a slow drain you want fixed, call Any Hour Services or visit anyhourservices.com.
KSL News Time, 12:14. The three things you need to know this hour. First,
a man is dead after what Unified Fire are calling an industrial fatality at Kennecott this morning. I'm KSL News Radio's Alexandria Bonilla.
Second, law enforcement are saying the alleged shooter at a Michigan synagogue is dead. We'll continue to follow this story. Third, traffic and weather together.
A little bit of slowing at times. It fills in, slows down, then moves again. Southbound I-15 in Kaysville as you're approaching Burton Lane going from the ponds towards Farmington. Right now, we're enjoying a crash-free drive on all the Valley freeways and main secondaries. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Much warmer today with a bit of a breeze. I'm Matt Johnson.
61 degrees at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios. Now our top national stories.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. State and federal law enforcement, along with first responders, including the FBI and ATF, on scene at a synagogue outside Detroit. The Oakland Sheriff Department responding to a security incident at the Temple Israel West Bloomfield after a truck slammed into the building. Preliminary information is that was an intentional vehicle ramming of the synagogue. Sources briefed on the investigation telling ABC News. ABC's Aaron Katursky has more.
The preliminary information that we're hearing from law enforcement officials is that a vehicle crashed into the synagogue. We had seen thick black smoke coming from a part of the building that also houses a school for children. That was underway at the time, and kids were seen coming out of the building.
Sheriff Michael Bouchard on scene says the suspect is not in custody and it's a work in progress.
Nobody at the moment has been confirmed to be hurt, except potentially the shooter.
The incident comes as the U.S. is on heightened alert due to the Iran war. Today, a new statement read on Iranian TV by a newsreader is being attributed to Iran's new supreme leader. Ayatollah Mustafa Khamenei has not been seen or heard from since being chosen by the Iranian Council and reportedly injured in the same strikes that killed his father, the late Ayatollah. ABC News contributor and former CIA officer Daryl Blocker says his absence is raising questions.
I found it extremely odd that the first address from the newly elected supreme leader would be read
through the voice of a woman and not show any pictures of him. So even if you think he's alive, even the Iranians are probably starting to question that also.
The Supreme Leader's statement says the Strait of Hormuz will remain closed to oil traffic. That's leading to higher global oil prices. President Trump ordering emergency releases from America's strategic fuel supply. You're listening to ABC News.
Time for the KSL In-Depth. Wildlife officials are reminding Utahns as it gets warmer and you go on more walks or hikes, it's important to keep your dog on a leash. Big Game Coordinator with the Division for Wildlife Resources, Mike Wardle, joins me now live. Thanks for joining the show, Mike.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So what kind of maybe unexpected danger is there when a dog is not leashed?
Wildlife can be unpredictable. One of the most common big game animals people would come into contact with in Utah are mule deer. And mule deer, if a dog's not on a leash and it starts to bark or chase a mule deer, deer oftentimes are going to perceive that as a threat. Typically, they'll run away, but we have had occasions where deer have turned and acted aggressively towards dogs and even killed dogs in the past.
What other type of game out there should people be worried about or on the lookout for?
On the big game front, moose, elk, many of those things also could have that same response to their dog as they're out hiking.
Okay. And just last night, a dog was rescued from a drainage canal. How could a leash protect animals from incidents like this?
I think if you can control your dog while you're out and about, you have a better chance of keeping your dog safe, really. Whether it's a drainage canal or a deer attacking it, there are risks in having your dog off leash.
And I think it's hard for some people who, they want to take their dogs outdoors on these trails. And, is there general rules for, areas of state parks and trailheads and stuff? Like, what should people be aware of before they take their dogs out?
Yeah, folks should look into where they're going. If you're going to be in a state park, there's a lot of resources online or at the state park about rules regarding leash laws. My understanding, I think in most campgrounds, you have to have your dog on a leash. Out in the forest, if you're out on national forest, there are places where you can go without a leash. But I do believe they still have a rule that the dog has to be under your control and that you can call it and have it come back to you.
All right.
People just need to be aware of where they're recreating.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much for joining me. That was Division of Wildlife Resources Big Game Coordinator Mike Wardle joining us live. KSL News Time, 12:19. Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on the 9s, brought to you by UCCU. Direct deposit gets you $300. Love where you bank. Here's Ricky Meese.
Southbound to I-15, a little bit of bogged down traffic with slow speeds going from Kaysville towards Farmington near Burton Lane. Salt Lake County roads are in great shape. No problems reported there. In Utah County, we've had some slowing. This is going westbound on Pioneer Crossing between Redwood Road and Mountain View Corridor. There is road work, of course, in the area, but no accidents reported at this time. At UTA, they move your early mornings, your long days, your big plans. They move purpose. They move you. Plan your trip at rideuta.com. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL 7-day forecast is predominantly comprised of 60s and 70s, but we do have a bit of a cool down. Here we go, 67 today, mostly sunny skies. It'll feel quite nice and a little bit breezy. Breezy again tomorrow, 69, partly cloudy skies. You head into Saturday, mostly cloudy, 65. Cool front Sunday morning, mostly cloudy, 50 degrees. Partly cloudy, 65 on Monday. Tuesday, 74. Record-breaking heat next Wednesday, 79. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
Right now, it's 51 degrees in Park City and 61 in Salt Lake City. The 7-day forecast brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful.
A family office is a team built to handle the three biggest financial responsibilities a family faces: wealth management, tax strategy, and estate planning. Most firms only manage your investments and refer the rest out, hoping everyone stays aligned. At Trajan, we built something different. Your wealth, tax planning, and estate planning are handled together inside one firm under one roof. There's no guessing whether your CPA, advisor, and estate attorney are truly in sync, because our team works together every day on your behalf. When your financial life becomes more complex, your advice should become more coordinated, not more fragmented. One plan, one trusted team. Call Trajan today, 801-207-9900. That's 801-207-9900.
Trajan Wealth, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Additional services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures and accreditation at TrajanWealth.com.
Utah Mammoth Hockey is back at Delta Center. Don't miss your chance to be part of the excitement as the Mammoth hit the ice all season long. Grab your friends, rally the family, and lock in your seats for the fast-paced, hard-hitting action. Great seats are available for most games, but they're selling fast. Head to UtahMammoth.com to get your tickets today. That's UtahMammoth.com. Your home for all things Mammoth hockey.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Thinking about retirement? Make sure a My Social Security account is a part of your plan. A My Social Security account gives you secure access to your personal earnings history and benefit status. You can find out if you're eligible to receive benefits, compare retirement benefit estimates at different ages or dates, view spousal benefit estimates, and more. Plan for your future. Open a My Social Security account at ssa.gov/myaccount. Social Security, securing today and tomorrow.
Produced at U.S. taxpayer expense.
Hidden Valley's looking to hire ranch ambassadors. 4 spots are open, and these ranch-loving employees will get to take a flavor quest across Europe this summer. Because ranch is American, they'll be traveling and trying different regional foods with it. They'll be expected to create content for the brand, making videos and taking photos for social media. Watching Utah's money, malls have seen a gradual decline of popularity since they first became a social hub in the 1980s, but they're gaining popularity once again. It's not quite like it was before. The Wall Street Journal reports now it's an instant gratification thing. People want things now and don't want to wait for shipping. It's also because of social media. People post cool things in stores and want others to see it in person. Taco Bell is moving into the skincare industry, kind of. They're using the Mountain Dew Baja Blast popularity and launching under-eye patches. The patches are infused with caffeine, like the drink, and offer some cooling hydration. Carnival Cruise Lines is responding to the influx of cruise customers. The company is now introducing new express dining options, giving guests a multi-course dinner in less than an hour. AAA projects 21.7 million Americans will cruise in 2026. Your money at this moment, the Dow is down 641 points, the S&P is down 83, and the NASDAQ down 335 points right now. Visitors are flocking to Death Valley National Park in California and Nevada to see flowers, not typical for the desert area. But right now, thousands of long dormant flowers have popped through the desert soil in what's called a super bloom. The bloom is a result of steady rain in the fall and winter and proves that there is life in the desert.
High five! Up top!
Dave's company just got the 5-year price lock guarantee from Comcast Business. Yeah! It's 5 years of gig speed internet, advanced security, and a great rate that won't change. All from the company with 99.9% network reliability.
Heck yeah!
He hasn't given this many high fives since Deborah brought in her famous banana bread.
Yes!
The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee. Powering 5 years of savings, powering possibilities.
And it's hurting, but I am not stopping. Woo!
For a limited time, now through March 29th.
Switch to Comcast Business to lock in your rate for 5 years and get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Or ask how to get started with 150 megabit internet and Security Edge for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Don't wait. Call today. Restrictions apply. New customers only. 1-year contract required for guaranteed rate. Paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account required. 5-year pricing applies to monthly service charge excluding taxes and fees.
This week's movie show brought to you by Sound Sleep. Get a free sleep screening and a free sleep consultation by tuning in on Friday morning. Sound Sleep with 7 locations in Utah.
Over the years, you've brought them into your home. You were prescribed opioids after the C-section, when Dad injured his back, when your basketball star tore his ACL. Opioids helped with the pain, and you held on to them just in case. But did you know holding on to unused opioids puts your family at risk? Opioids are powerful pain-reducing prescription medicines, but most people who are prescribed opioids don't finish their prescriptions. So millions of unused opioids are sitting in homes across the country. And tragically, more than 100 Americans die every day from overdoses involving opioids. What can you do to protect your family? Remove the risk of unused opioids from your home. Pills, patches, or syrups in drawers, purses, and cabinets, anywhere they might be hiding. To find out how to dispose of them properly, visit www.fda.gov/drug disposal.
KSL News Time, 12:28. Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on the 9s. Brought to you by UCCU. Up to $500 for loan transfers. Love where you bank. Here's Ricky Meese.
A good-looking drive on all your freeways and main secondaries in Salt Lake County. We've had slowing at times on southbound I-15 in Kaysville, approaching Burton Lane on the way to Farmington. And at times it fills in, other times it clears right out. Don't be surprised if you get caught a few minutes with slowing in that stretch. Celebrate Easter at Abravanel Hall March 30th. Join Grammy-nominated Jenny Oaks Baker and experience The Redeemer, a breathtaking musical journey honoring Jesus Christ. Save 15% with code RISEN15 at jennyoaksbaker.com. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
With a jet stream parked just to the north of Utah, we'll see some breezy winds today and a high of 67, mostly sunny skies. 69 tomorrow, pushing 70 on your Friday, partly cloudy and a bit breezy. We then cool it to 65 on Saturday, mostly cloudy skies. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
Right now it's 61 degrees in Salt Lake City, 59 in Ogden, and 62 in St. George.
You're listening to Midday with Maria Shilaos
on KSL News Radio, 102.7 FM and 1160 AM.
Good afternoon. KSL News Time, 12:30. KSL's top story this hour. It's breaking news. The active shooter at a Michigan synagogue is dead. ABC News is reporting there are no other casualties. ABC affiliate WXYZ out of Michigan is live on the scene. Let's go to local reporter Randy Wembley.
When he drove up here, security at Temple Israel engaged him, and he was later found deceased. Fire coming from the building. ATF investigating that aspect of that situation, as well as the firearm investigation. Again, a very large scene here. Police and law enforcement, they're asking parents to pick kids up over at JCC, which is right down the road on Drake here. We saw that there was a Farmington Hills police officer posted up there as we were making our way to this location where we are now. Again, still very much an active scene. This investigation still ongoing. Just literally about 2 minutes ago, I saw a woman walking from Temple Israel. She had a child in hand, or at least it just picked one up. Obviously a deeply concerned, frantic look on her face as she was walking down Drake Road and then across to this nearby shopping center. So seemingly just picking up her child that was probably in the daycare center or what have you over here at Temple Israel. That is still a major concern. There's another gentleman here right behind me. I tried to talk with him just a few moments ago, but he was in no mood to talk, clearly for obvious reasons. He has a child that is in there. And so a lot of very concerned parents, but what we heard from Sheriff Bouchard, no one who was in there. Thankfully, no one was hurt. The only person deceased, that active shooter who was engaged by Temple Israel security.
That was Randy Wimbley from our ABC affiliate WXYZ in Michigan. We're also learning this from CNN. They're reporting that there were explosives found in the vehicle that was used by the suspect. We'll continue to have more on the situation throughout the show. After nearly 2 hours of debate and discussion, the Salt Lake City Planning Commission is recommending a proposed zoning change for the area surrounding Smith's Ballpark. KSL News Radio's Don Brinkerhoff joins me now live with details. Don?
Heather, nearly all of that 2 hours revolved around green space. Commissioner Amy Berry says the proposal from the city's Community Reinvestment Agency missed the mark.
I don't think this design is adequate for the connecting to the needs of the neighborhood and the vision overwhelmingly expressed by the community.
Commissioner Jeffrey Barrett disagrees.
We go from a 15-acre site with no public green space to a 15-acre site with 2 parks and daylighted creeks and a lot more trees.
The commission is recommending the zoning change to the Salt Lake City Council, who will make the final decision whether to rezone the area or not. The zoning change would allow buildings up to 150 feet tall and high-density housing. Reporting live, Don Brinkerhoff, KSL News Radio.
The Weber County Transfer Station will remain open despite rumors that it would be closing. KSL News Radio's Britt Johnson reports.
Weber County Community Development Department Director Sean Wilkinson says they've been transparent with local communities that they've been struggling with revenue, but they have no plans to close as of yet. But that does mean major changes will have to be made by scaling back their operation, including possible layoffs.
A new transfer station opened up nearby a year ago, and since then, Weber County's transfer station's revenue has taken a 40,000-ton hit. But they want to be able to stay open for residents who have used their services for the past 30 years. The state's rested its case in the murder trial of Corey Richens. Today, the prosecution's final witness, the lead detective on the case, was cross-examined by the defense. The defense also asked the court to dismiss several charges against Richens due to insufficient evidence. That motion was denied. Utah State University researchers are working on a program to help parents get their babies into more follow-up hearing visits and early treatments. KSL News Radio's Brianna Willis reports.
Only a quarter of families whose babies failed a hearing screening bring the baby back for a follow-up visit, says Allison Ward, a senior researcher at Utah State. Missing these visits can prevent them from getting access to early communication intervention.
Those mile markers are important throughout the child's life because communication is so vital to being connected to others and connected to the world. And so we just are really wanting to give these infants their best chances at success.
Ward and her team will be producing a curriculum to train navigators who will work personally with these families and healthcare providers to show them the next steps. The navigators will start their programs in Idaho, Texas, Kentucky, and Arkansas. Brianna Willis, KSL News Radio.
America's largest online university is moving its headquarters to Salt Lake City. Western Governors University serves nearly 190,000 students from all over the country. The school's current Utah office is in Mill Creek, and it says its move to Salt Lake City will be a major expansion on the block where the Sheraton Hotel is. First look traffic. Here's Ricky Meese.
Looking at a quiet noontime drive on your downtown city streets, your Salt Lake County freeways and main secondaries. A little bit of slowing, of course, due to roadwork southbound to I-15 in Kaysville. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL News Time, 12:35.
Many people worry they're not making the right investment choices inside their 401ks. Did you know that you might have a little-known opportunity to add some additional investment choices to your 401k and get the help and recommendations you've been looking for? This exciting feature is called a self-directed brokerage window. And the best part? The money still stays within your 401k. Learn how the trusted advisors at Capital Wealth may be able to expand your investment portfolio. To learn more, call or text the word VISIT to 801-877-9800 or go to CapitalWealth401k.com. Improving your 401k might mean the difference of retiring a few years earlier. Let's find out. Schedule your no-cost 15-minute consultation with the Capital Wealth team today. Call or text the word VISIT to 801-877-9800 or go to CapitalWealth401k.com. Advisory services offered through Capital Wealth Advisors, LLC, a state of Utah registered investment advisor.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. Mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
The active shooter at a Michigan synagogue is dead, and local police say no one else is hurt. KSL News Time, 12:38. KSL's top national stories. Mixed messaging from the president continues on the war in Iran. The war has led to major disruptions in the oil market, already leading to higher gas prices. The price of crude oil shot up to more than $100 per barrel after 6 ships were attacked in and around the Strait of Hormuz. More from ABC News senior White House correspondent Selena Wang, who says some lawmakers are also concerned about how long the war will go on.
There are huge questions from lawmakers on Capitol Hill, some of them who have already received these closed-door intel briefings, but they say they're walking away with more questions than answers. I spoke to one of them, Senator Richard Blumenthal, who's on the Senate Armed Services Committee, who says after this briefing from top Trump officials, he still doesn't understand how long this war is going to last, what the exit plan is, what success means for this administration, and when exactly this is all going to stop.
We're now in the second week of the war. Here in Utah Attorney General Derek Brown says the state will be cracking down hard on financial crimes. KSL News Radio's Cameron Elliott has the story.
The Utah legislature has approved funding for the Financial Crimes Intelligence Center. The center, according to AG Derek Brown, would allow for increased communication between agencies to tackle financial crimes quickly and effectively.
Ultimately, that's the goal, is to have a one-stop shop where we can really go after these folks and, we won't suffer from a lack of communication anymore.
AG Brown says the center will be a place where legislative figures and law enforcement can have open lines of communication to break down these rapidly evolving scam techniques. Cameron Elliott, KSL News Radio.
Experts are warning the public about counterfeit tickets to the World Cup as the matches get closer. Scammers will be waiting with phishing links, fake codes, and other tricks. There will not be a tax on tickets to the Utah 2034 Olympics. Lawmakers say the over $80 million of tax revenue will have to come through another way. The decision to remove taxes from tickets was made this legislative session in a bill sponsored by Representative John Hawkins. The taxes would have been used by the Olympic Committee to pay back cities and counties for services they provide during the games. But Hawkins says they still expect to make back that revenue.
They'll get it through a commensurate fee on the sales of the ticket, but it won't. Okay. It'll skip the process of going to the tax commission and then coming back to the cities.
In an interview with Deseret News, he says it has yet to be decided on how those fees will work. KSL News Time, 12:40. Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on the nines. Brought to you by UCCU. Earn 4.24% on savings at uccu.com. Here's Ricky Meese.
A KSL listener letting us know and confirming some of our troubles in Davis County, southbound I-15. It is due to construction. 'Tis the season after all. Southbound I-15 going from Kaysville to Farmington, right about Burton Lane. You'll see a lane restriction, and that is what's causing some of the slowdowns that sets in, and then it eases and sets in again. So just be aware of that. And another reminder, any construction zone will have a reduced speed limit. Salt Lake County roadway is looking good with no other problems reported at this time. Don't miss the Epson Tour at Copper Rock, May 14th through 16th. Preview LPGA Next Gen Rising Stars on a breathtaking, challenging course. For stay, tickets, and info, visit copperrockchampionship.com. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Looking at a beautiful spring-like day today. Mostly sunny skies, high of 67, but a bit breezy out of the west. Overnight, 44, mostly clear to partly cloudy. We'll keep it partly cloudy tomorrow with a high of 69 and breezy. 65, a little bit cooler on Saturday, mostly cloudy skies. We drop off to 50 by Sunday. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
Right now, it's 60 degrees in Provo and 63 in Salt Lake City. Coming up on Midday, we'll hear more about the shooting in Michigan and some of the similarities it has to a former incident at a Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints meeting house last year. That's coming up, streaming live at KSLNewsRadio.com and on the app for KSL News Radio. We're Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
Maybe we should take a nap.
Yeah, smart. It was a big day yesterday.
Now this is a great nap.
Very restorative.
I feel so rested.
At Ovation Homes, taking it easy looks a little different. Single-level homes designed to keep you moving, not slowing down. Ovation Homes. Your best years start here. To learn more about your next home, find a community or speak to an Ovation specialist. Visit OvationHomesUtah.com.
We decided to downsize.
Less to manage.
Fewer stairs.
More friends.
Ovation Homes. Downsize the stairs, upsize the lifestyle. Your best years start at Ovation Homes. To learn more about your next home, find a community or speak to an Ovation specialist, visit OvationHomesUtah.com. That's OvationHomesUtah.com. Your best years start at Ovation Homes.
It's all about creativity. Dave's Bernina. Special discounts and fantastic savings.
In our Provo and St. George stores. The top-of-the-line Bernina 990, L890, and 790 and 770 Pro machines are on sale. They come with a limited-time offer of free Bernina accessories, software, and sewing extras, valued from $3,000 to $4,600.
Come in now.
Add to all this savings, 60 months, no interest on certain models.
All new Berninas come with a 5-year warranty and free classes.
Buy one and get one 50% off on all Bernina hoops. Dave's Bernina has made a special purchase of previously owned Bernina 330s for only $499 while supplies last, with a 2-year warranty and free classes.
Dave's Bernina, 691 East St. George Boulevard and 2017 North 550 West in Provo. Dave'sBernina.com.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our clients' portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
KSL News Time, 12:45. The 3 things you need to know this hour. First,
one person is now in the hospital after crashing their car into a West Valley City home. The 2 people living there are now trying to figure out where to stay until it's repaired. I'm KSL News Radio's Adam Small.
Second, police in Michigan say no one except the shooter was hurt in a shooting at a synagogue. Third, traffic and weather together.
Salt Lake County freeways all clear, looking good. Lane restrictions due to roadwork southbound I-15 going from Kaysville into Farmington. No other problems reported on your major roadways. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
60s return to the forecast, maybe even a 70. I'm Matt Johnson.
It's 63 degrees at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios. Now KSL's top national stories.
This is a special report from ABC News. I'm Michelle Franzen. In Michigan, the suspect who rammed a vehicle into the Temple Israel Synagogue in West Bloomfield Township is believed to be dead after a shootout with security. The suspect, believed to have had a rifle, according to a senior federal law enforcement official briefed on the investigation in Michigan. The official adding there are no injuries reported yet at the synagogue. ABC's Aaron Katursky has more.
Our preliminary read is that synagogue security personnel were able to fire shots, engage the driver that rammed into the building, and perhaps prevent anyone inside from getting hurt.
Oakland County Sheriff Michael Bouchard on scene says officers are still working to clear the building.
Don't come to the area. It's active and it's busy, and we're still trying to figure it out.
The incident comes as law enforcement is on heightened alert throughout the country due to the ongoing war in Iran. This is ABC News.
Time for the KSL In-Depth. As you just heard, police in Michigan have confirmed the shooter at a synagogue is dead and no one else was hurt. ABC affiliate WXYZ spoke to former FBI Special Agent Andy Arena about how this incident compares to the shooting at a Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints meeting house in Michigan last year.
Now, Andy, we saw the use of a vehicle being rammed into the church at Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Grand Blanc Township. Now we are seeing this again. ABC News confirming with their sources that a vehicle was seen steering around the bollards, and that is why security immediately engaged with the driver of that vehicle. Are we seeing an uptick in these kind of crimes? I mean, active shooters, unfortunately, in our area have become far too common, but it feels like the use of these vehicles being used is just an additional layer here that seems relatively new.
Well, I think it's been out there for many years. I mean, the vehicle becomes a weapon, right? It's a 3,000-pound weapon, and it can be used as a weapon or as a breaching tool. So, what this individual is trying to do here will certainly, I think, kind of figure out as we go through his electronic footprint. But I don't think it's anything new. I think that maybe in our area, but it's something we've seen for many, many years across the country, across the world.
If the shooter is deceased and they do find that there's potentially co-conspirators that planned this attack, is that something that could be potentially federal charges because we're talking about hate crime in a religious institution?
Yeah, definitely. And I think right now you don't want to make the mistake, well, at least the law enforcement doesn't want to make the mistake of focusing in on one potential motive. They want to look at every possibility here, but that is certainly one of them. It could be just some crazy person who, watching social media, watching what's going on in the world, decided to take matters into their own hands. So I think fairly quickly they're going to kind of paint a picture of this individual, and because that's the biggest issue right now is, are there other co-conspirators out there, other potential targets?
We'll continue to update you on this story throughout midday and later on Jeff Kaplan's afternoon news. KSL News Time, 12:49. Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on the 9s, brought to you by UCCU. Direct deposit gets you $300. Love where you bank. Here's Ricky Meese.
You're good to go on I-15 both directions between Provo and downtown Salt Lake City. But southbound I-15 in Davis County, where we have construction going from Kaysville to Farmington near Burton Lane, you'll see a lane restricted, and that is causing a little bit of slowing in the area. The rest of your valley freeways are seeing a quiet drive, as well as our main secondaries. No matter the weather, your feet can feel fantastic. Find the Good Feet location nearest you at goodfeet.com. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL 7-day forecast has some warm weather ahead. 67 today, mostly sunny skies, breezy. Tomorrow, pushing 70, partly cloudy skies, and a little bit breezy. More cloud cover on Saturday, 65. Shallow cold front Saturday night into Sunday morning. By Sunday afternoon, 50 degrees, mostly cloudy skies. Then we bounce back to 65, partly cloudy skies on Monday. Tuesday, mostly sunny, 74. We climb to record warmth by next Wednesday, 79. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
Right now, it's 61 degrees in Ogden and 63 in Salt Lake City. The 7-day forecast brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful.
My friend Joey loves to use old familiar sayings.
You know what they say?
The problem is,
Don't look at a gift horse, 'cause you can't make them drink.
he gets a lot of them mixed up.
People who live in glass houses
Here it comes.
shouldn't cry over spilt milk.
There are also a lot of sayings in the financial world, like, you'll pay lower taxes in retirement. But for many people, that's just not true. You may have done a great job saving in that 401k or IRA, but Uncle Sam is ready to grab a big portion of that money. The team at Galileo Wealth Management can help with strategies that you can start now to lower your tax bill in the future. More for you and less for Uncle Sam.
Or as they say, an apple a day is worth two in the bush.
Get the facts on your tax bill in retirement. Call Galileo Wealth today at 385-247-7000. It's 385-247-7000 or online at GalileoWealth.com.
And remember, a stitch in time keeps the doctor away. It does, you know.
Respiratory virus season is quickly approaching, meaning we'll see more flu, COVID, and RSV in our community. The good news is vaccines are available that will help prevent these infections and keep people healthy. For flu and COVID, everyone aged 6 months and older are recommended to be vaccinated to help protect ourselves and our families against serious illness. Fall remains the best time to be vaccinated. Respiratory viruses circulate year-round, but peak late fall through winter. Your doctor can recommend which vaccines are best for you and your family.
Brought to you by Intermountain Health and KSL News Radio.
Are you considering GLP-1 injections for weight loss? Before you start, ask yourself this. Are you prepared to spend $3,000 to $5,000 per year and stay on the medication long-term to maintain the results? Many prescription weight loss injections require weekly shots, and when the medication is stopped, weight regain is common. Research shows a significant portion of weight lost can come from muscle, which may slow your metabolism and make keeping the weight off even harder. At SLC Fat Loss, they take a different approach. Their doctor-developed program helps men and women lose 20 to 40 pounds in just 60 days safely and naturally. No injections, no synthetic hormones, no long-term dependence. They use real food to reset your metabolism, control hunger and cravings naturally, and help your body burn fat, not muscle. Right now, you can schedule a free 15-minute phone consultation to see if the program is right for you. Go to slcfatloss.com. That's slcfatloss.com. Results may vary.
Every day here in Utah, people turn to KSL News Radio for one simple reason: trust. Trust for our reporters, hosts, our coverage, and trust in the businesses heard right here. I've met so many of our listeners over the years, and they'll tell you KSL is part of their daily routine, in the car, at work, at home. And when they hear your business here, it carries the weight of that trust. It isn't just another ad. It's a recommendation coming from a reliable source. When you advertise on KSL News Radio, you reach a loyal, highly engaged audience who listens intentionally. They show up for breaking news, accurate information, and meaningful conversations. And because of that connection, they respond. And when you pair our on-air credibility with digital tools like display advertising, social media, streaming audio, search, geo-targeting, and retargeting, you get a full funnel strategy that works and reaches the right people at the right time. Get marketing that truly moves the needle. Partner with the voice Utah trusts. KSL. Learn more at kslnewsradio.com/advertise.
The final batch of Oscar presenters have been announced.
Former Oscar host Jimmy Kimmel is on the list, along with nominees Rose Byrne, Delroy Lindo, and Wagner Moura. Also handing out trophies, Ewan McGregor, Pedro Pascal, Bill Pullman, Channing Tatum, and Sigourney Weaver. The Oscars air live on ABC March 15th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time.
That's ABC's Andrea Dresdale. Watching Utah's money? Your next Uber might be driverless. The app is partnering with Zoox, the driverless cars owned by Amazon. The hope is to help popularize the cars and help Uber keep up with developing technology. Gridwise Analytics predicts driverless cars make up 10% of total rides on rideshare apps. The cost of food will likely increase as the war with Iran continues. The Strait of Hormuz is closed, and over a third of global fertilizer trade moves through it. It's especially bad timing as planting season arrives soon. Florida is moving on and is ready for the new penniless America. State lawmakers just passed a bill allowing retailers to round cash transactions to the nearest nickel. It comes after the U.S. Treasury Department stopped production on the coin last year. Your money at this moment. The Dow is down 644 points. The S&P is down 87, and the NASDAQ is down 350 points.
Did you know your baby might need their first dental visit sooner than you think? Did you know your baby should visit the dentist after their first tooth appears or by their first birthday? Keep your family healthy. Your smile matters. Babies can get cavities as soon as they have teeth. Bad bacteria can be transferred to a baby's mouth through unwashed spoons or pacifiers. Pacifiers dipped in sugar or sweetened drinks can also cause cavities. Prevention begins by using a small, soft toothbrush and a little fluoride toothpaste. Grain of rice size ages 1 to 2 and a pea size ages 3 to 6. Practice with your baby before their first dental exam. A dental professional can give you the best advice to keep your baby healthy and smiling. If you don't have a dentist, visit yoursmileutah.org for more information on community dental services. This message brought to you by Utah Oral Health Coalition, Utah Dental Association, University of Utah School of Dentistry, the Utah Department of Health and Human Services, and other Utah health partners. Remember, a healthy smile means a healthier life.
Your smile matters.
There's no championship league for small business owners, but if there was, you'd be at the top of the standings. Because going pro with Lenovo Pro means you've got the winning formation, one-on-one advice, IT solutions, and customized hardware powered by Intel Core Ultra processors help you stay ahead of the competition. Business goes pro with Lenovo Pro. Sign up for free at lenovo.com/pro.
Lenovo.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Any Hour Services free furnace sale is going on right now. If you haven't scheduled your free estimate yet, do it now. Call Any Hour Services today or schedule online at anyhourservices.com.
KSL News Time, 12:58. Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on the 9s. Brought to you by UCCU. Up to $500 for loan transfers. Love where you bank. Here's Ricky Meese.
Some construction delays southbound I-15 in Kaysville as you're going past the ponds and on the way to Farmington. It's been a quiet drive on the Valley freeways. No accidents or major delays in Salt Lake County and I-15 all clear in Utah County. If your roof needs repair or replacement, do it now during S&S Roofing's spring sale. 12 months interest-free financing. Get the best value on the highest quality roofing job. Get a quote at snsroofingyutah.com. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
No rain expected the next couple days. Today we're looking at a high of 67. Tomorrow 69 with some clouds. Then a mild Saturday expected at 65 degrees before a cool down to 50 on Sunday. Then next week we're going to get into the 70s. Right now it is 63 degrees in Salt Lake City, and looking around the region a little bit, 60 in Provo, 61 in Ogden.
KSL FM Midvale.
KSL Salt Lake City.
From the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios, this is KSL News Radio.
Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
A developing situation underway at a synagogue outside of Detroit, Michigan, where police say a man rammed his vehicle into the building and began shooting. At this time, the local sheriff says no one has been hurt except for the suspected attacker, who's now reported to be dead.
It's a work in progress. So that's why we're sheltering in place until we figure it out. It's a big facility with a lot of land around it. Until that gets secured and everybody's comfortable that there's no active threat in that spot, stay away from it, shelter in place.
The time is 1 o'clock on Thursday, March 12th. It's midday. I'm Heather Peterson, in for Maria Shilaos. Coming up, Governor Gretchen Whitmer saying the Jewish community there should be able to live and practice their faith in peace. We're continuing to track this situation as it unfolds. Also this hour, major developments could be coming to the ballpark neighborhood of Salt Lake City after the Planning Commission voted to recommend zoning changes. But the decision, not without quite a bit of controversy.
Trees and soil-based green space aren't just aesthetic amenities, they're public health infrastructure.
We'll go in depth on this in just a few minutes. But first, our top story is developing news. We're following an active scene outside Detroit, Michigan, after police responded to a suspected shooting at a Jewish temple.
This is a special report from ABC News. I'm Michelle Franzen. In Michigan, the suspect who rammed a vehicle into the Temple Israel Synagogue in West Bloomfield Township is believed to be dead after a shootout with security. The suspect, believed to have had a rifle, according to a senior federal law enforcement official briefed on the investigation in Michigan. The official adding there are no injuries reported yet at the synagogue. ABC's Aaron Katursky has more.
Our preliminary read is that synagogue security personnel were able to fire shots, engage the driver that rammed into the building, and perhaps prevent anyone inside from getting hurt.
Oakland County Sheriff Michael Bouchard on scene says officers are still working to clear the building.
Don't come to the area. It's active and it's busy, and we're still trying to figure it out.
The incident comes as law enforcement is on heightened alert throughout the country due to the ongoing war in Iran. This is ABC News.
Our top local stories this hour. A 39-year-old man has been taken to the hospital after crashing his car into a home near 4100 South and Mountain View in West Valley City. Police say the man is now stable and they don't think he was impaired at the time, but the crash caused serious structural damage to the home. 25-year-old Angelica Rodriguez says she's heartbroken. She lived in this home her whole life.
Just kind of started crying right away and shaking. Just a lot of feelings and emotions.
Rodriguez and her father were not hurt, but they will have to stay with family or friends until the home is deemed safe to live in again. The Utah legislature has approved funding for a new center that will be focused on digital financial crimes. KSL News Radio's Cameron Elliott has more.
Attorney General Derek Brown explained to KSL's Inside Sources that the Financial Crimes Intelligence Center will be a one-stop shop where agencies can gather to fight cyber financial crimes. He says that there are investigators already combating these crimes, but the center will allow easier communication between agencies like banks, prosecutors, and law enforcement.
Lawmakers say this center is more necessary than ever as cybercrimes and scams continue to evolve at a meteoric pace. Your money at this moment, the Dow is down 84 points, the S&P is down 93 points, and the NASDAQ is down 374. Traffic and weather together brought to you by UCCU. Earn 4.24% on savings at UCCU.com. Here's Ricky Meese.
A lane restriction in the work zone southbound I-15 in Davis County has been causing some slowdowns as you try to go from Kaysville into Farmington near Burton Lane. After that, you're good to go from Farmington all the way into downtown Salt Lake City. All of your Salt Lake County freeways and major roads are seeing a nice and quiet drive. Whipple Service Champions is Utah's most trusted name for heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical services. And they're your first choice for offering honest second opinions. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
High of 67 expected today with partly cloudy skies. More of the same tomorrow at 69 degrees. This weekend, we're looking at a high of 65 on Saturday and then a drop to 50 degrees on Sunday. Right now, it's mostly cloudy and 64 from the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios.
The sources where we get our news matters.
When you listen to Utah's Morning News, we want you to feel the stories are important to you and trustworthy. This is Amanda Dixon.
And I'm Andy Farnsworth. Join us weekday mornings on KSL News Radio.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ENJOY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
If you've saved more than $300,000, there's one thing you can do now that can make your savings go twice as far in retirement, and it's tax planning. That's right. Tax planning could significantly reduce the taxes on your IRA and 401k withdrawals, Social Security benefits, and other investment income. Find out how much money you could save with a free retirement tax savings analysis from the good people at Boss Retirement Solutions. To schedule your free analysis, call 801-896-9622. Tax planning for retirement could reduce your taxes not just for 1 year, but for the rest of your life. And the savings could be six figures. Let's find out how much money you could save. Call 801-896-9622. 801-896-9622.
For informational purposes only, actual results may vary. No statement contained herein shall constitute tax, legal, or investment advice. Advisory services offered through Boss Retirement Advisors, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Insurance products and services offered through Boss Retirement Solutions.
Thanks for tuning in to Midday. I'm Heather Peterson, sitting in this afternoon for Maria Shilaos. Despite 2 hours of debate and public feedback largely against a proposal, the Salt Lake City Planning Commission voted to recommend a major zoning change in the city's ballpark neighborhood. Rezoning would pave the way for large-scale developments in and around Smith's Ballpark, the former home of the Salt Lake Bees baseball team. The discussion among the Planning Commission heated and intense in times. KSL News Radio's Don Brinkerhoff joins me now with details on the meeting and what this decision means. Don?
Heather, there were really two themes about this debate: green space and high-density housing. The public and most of the commissioners used their time to call for more green space, calling this a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Fraser Nelson is with the Ballpark Action Team.
For many, many years, you've been hearing from residents about what they want in this neighborhood because of the opportunities that you've given citizens to speak up. And what they've consistently wanted is green space. They don't want a hotel. They think it's insane to think that a hotel would come to our neighborhood. The last hotel in our neighborhood is now Palmer Court. They want a library, they want grocery stores, they want trees, they want opportunities for their children. We, the Ballpark Action Team, held a session with landowners in the neighborhood called Building Beyond Ballpark. And those landowners, just as Dr. Hawkins mentioned, are saying that they are coming at us with even more density and more apartments, and what they need is green space to support those residents. I urge you to think very carefully about this plan. You have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to say to a neighborhood, we heard you. We know what you need. You know what you need. It is not more dense apartments that drown out the single-family homes on Lucy and Paxton and throughout the neighborhood.
Hayden Calloway represents the city's Community Reinvestment Agency.
On the topic of green space, this is something that came up a lot as we developed this plan, and as we brought it before the CRA board all through last year. And I think we have, we've kind of spoken about how we are creating green space that is publicly accessible. Like, it's not currently accessible in its form. So we have what we are considering green space is the Creek Park, which will have the creek daylit, which should create a cooling effect for the neighborhood as well. The Park Promenade, it will contain, hardscapes for walking, but it will also contain a lush tree canopy, so it is shaded. Currently, the majority of the ballpark, it is, it's turf. And so this will we actually be able to add more trees with this plan to be able to create more shading and decrease that heat effect.
The other big issue was high-density housing. That includes a hotel and a couple of housing projects. Holly McKenna Holly is also with the Community Reinvestment Agency.
The plan had suggested some higher heights, which we reduced. And also, I think I want to say that we still hear the public comment that was given today. But I want to put that on top of the mass amount of public engagement we have done over the past 2+ years, more with the Ballpark Station Area Plan. And I will just say that originally I was hearing this narrative of no housing, but once we kind of got into it, I did hear from a lot of the community that we just don't want it on the ground level. We're fine with housing above, and there does need to be some housing available, at ownership levels. We've heard a lot about ownership, which we have as a priority, and accessible housing for people that are interested in moving to this neighborhood and can't afford it currently.
Missy Grace says the community does not need that housing or a hotel.
I know this neighborhood. This neighborhood needs green space. This neighborhood needs activation that is community driven. This neighborhood does not necessarily need more housing. This neighborhood does not need high density housing. This neighborhood needs family friendly activities, and it needs trees.
In the end, the commissioners were told their role was simply to decide whether or not to recommend the zoning change, which would allow buildings up to 150 feet high and that high-density housing. Heather?
All right, Don, thank you so much. That was KSL News Radio's Don Brinkerhoff on the Salt Lake City Planning Commission, who voted to recommend a major zoning change in the city's ballpark neighborhood. Stay with us. We'll be back with more on Midday in just 60 seconds.
What if Jurassic Park really existed? Well, you would need a reliable mobile connection to keep you online at the park. With Xfinity Mobile, you have Wi-Fi where you need it and 5G everywhere else. Whether you're live streaming a T-Rex feeding or downloading park maps when you're lost in the Gallimimus Run, you can stay connected with Raptor fast speeds. Xfinity Mobile is there for you at home and at the park because it was born ready for you to roam. Xfinity. Imagine that. And now you can cut your mobile bill in half with 2 lines unlimited. Learn more at xfinitymobile.com. That's xfinitymobile.com, and watch Jurassic Park with Xfinity. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet required. Savings based on promotional rate for 2 lines of Xfinity Mobile Unlimited versus 2 lines of T-Mobile Experience More, Verizon Unlimited Plus, and AT&T Starter as of 2/10/26. Taxes, fees extra.
A house in West Valley City has been deemed unlivable after a car drove into it and ended up in the living room. KSL News Radio's Adam Small was at the scene of the crash shortly after it happened, and he spoke with the home's owner. Angelica Rodriguez says the crash felt like an earthquake.
I was sleeping. I was in bed, and it was probably around like 7 in the morning, I think. And I just heard a very large crash, and I thought it was an earthquake. It wasn't an earthquake. My dad ran into my room and just kind of started frantically yelling to get out of the house, and I was just kind of like, I'm not sure why I would need to. And then I went down our stairs to see where our bigger general living room is, and there was a car in it. So my first thing was just my dog. My dog is an outdoor dog, so I was like, oh my God, I need to get my dog. But I just kind of started crying right away and shaking. Just a lot of feelings and emotions. But then once after that, my dad was trying to see if the person that was in the car was responsive and trying to get them out. But we weren't really able to help as much until the officers and ambulance got here.
Holding back tears, she says she's okay now, but still shaken by what happened.
I'm just more worried about my people, but definitely I think it was just heartbreaking to see, I think, such a event happen in my home. So it was just, I just think, very overwhelming.
West Valley City Police Lieutenant Joe Sin says the driver of the car that rammed into the house was a 39-year-old male. He was unconscious when police arrived due to hitting his head in the crash. He was taken to the hospital and is in stable condition. Lieutenant Sin says they were originally worried about the structural integrity of the home.
Our building inspection came out to assess the scene. They asked for the occupants who were in the upstairs level to evacuate until it was secure. Inbridge Gas came out to assess the scene. They fixed any sort of issues involving the gas lines.
He says that crews were able to remedy any issues with the house and don't believe there's a risk of collapse. But the family isn't able to return to the home right now.
I mean, obviously they would have to make sure that it's structurally sound before that they can return. Typically in incidents like this, they'll stay with relatives, family, or sometimes rent a hotel room and then deal with the insurance companies on the back end.
He says right now they have not been able to confirm if the driver crashed because of a medical condition. That's still under investigation. They don't believe the driver was impaired or driving under the influence. As for Angelica and her father, she says they're going to continue with hope for a better future moving ahead.
I just have been through a lot in my life already, so this just seems like another bump in the road, I think. But I've just been taught to to keep an open heart and an open mind. I learned that from my parents, and I just think that's what I'm trying to do despite all the other feelings, but it's going to be okay.
You can see pictures of the damage on our website, kslnewsradio.com. A potential threat of drone attacks in California from Iranian forces. Details on that, plus the latest on attacks on oil tankers in the Strait of Hormuz, coming up next. But first, it's traffic on KSL News Radio, brought to you by UCCU. Direct deposit gets you $300. Love where you bank. Ricky?
Salt Lake County freeways, main secondaries, and side streets all looking good right now. The only spot of slowing we've had, it's due to road work, and that's been in Davis County, southbound I-15 after the Kaysville Ponds on the way to Farmington. Common Spirit hospitals, clinics, and caregivers, all connected to advanced health care in Colorado, Kansas, and Utah. Healthcare with human kindness is here. Hello, human kindness. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
We do have some breaking news for you. The defense for Corey Richins has rested its case without calling any witnesses. The state rested its case just about 2 hours ago after calling the case's lead detective as their last witness. The defense motioned for the judge to reach a verdict himself, arguing the defense did not present the evidence needed to prove her guilt. The judge denied this motion, and the defense said it would rest. KSL News Time.
It's time for March Window Mania. From Advanced Window Products, bounce on over to your phone and they'll give you $2,500 off your quote on 10 windows or more. Get the home court advantage. They'll build your windows right here in Salt Lake City, custom for Utah's climate, and you save because they sell direct to the public, no middleman. It's a new season. Spring is here, and when it comes to state-of-the-art custom windows and insulated frames, Advanced Windows is top-seated, so put them at the top of your bracket and make the call 801-850-9100. You'll get $2,500 off from the family-owned champion since 1986. For 40 years, they've been building and installing replacement windows. Don't wait for the draft to come seeping through your old windows. They'll save you a ton of money on your energy bill, and Advanced offers financing as low as $150 a month. It's the March Window Mania special. Quick, before the buzzer, make the call 801-850-9100. That's 801-850-9100, or visit advancedwindows.com.
Buying a home or refinancing can be complicated. So who do you call? Who's trustworthy, has decades of experience, and can get you a loan done quickly? Who will work hard for you to find the great rate and reasonable closing costs? The answer's clear. Loans by Rick. Right now, Loans by Rick is giving a 30-year fixed rate at 5.5% and a 15-year fixed at just 4.625%.
He can't do that.
Oh, yes, he can. For over 25 years, Rick has helped people navigate the mortgage process and get the financing they need to buy a home or refinance. That even includes paying off debt with a cash-out refi. And because Loans by Rick works with over 80 bank and lending relationships, we shop multiple lenders to find you the very best deal. Whether you're buying a home or refinancing, call Loans by Rick at 801-809-SAVE. That's 801-809-SAVE, or visit loansbyrick.com. Rick or Bob, NMLS 241179, Vintage Lending, NMLS 287106, Equal Housing Lender, 30-year APR 5.78%, 15-year APR 4.78%. Some restrictions apply.
Every business starts with an idea. With smart business buying from Amazon Business, get everything you need to grow in one familiar place. From office supplies to IT essentials and maintenance tools. Ready to bring your visions to life? Learn how at AmazonBusiness.com.
Pump up the volume. Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Gear up for adventure at the Utah RV Super Show. Whether you're outfitting a new rig or upgrading your current setup, you'll find awnings, hitches, solar panels, camping gear, and more. Shop top brands, talk with experts, and explore the latest 2026 RV models all under one roof. The Utah RV Super Show takes over the Mountain America Expo Center Thursday, March 19th through Sunday, March 22nd. Learn more at UtahRVSupershow.com. That's UtahRVSupershow.com.
It all started with a commitment to comfort. Gillette Heating and Air is proud to be Utah County's go-to team for expert HVAC and plumbing solutions. Need a repair, upgrade, or seasonal tune-up? Don't let cost hold you back. With 0% financing available, it's easy to get the work done now and pay later. Plus, save $100 on any repair over $500 and keep your system running strong with a professional tune-up before the heat hits. Visit GilletteHVAC.com or call 385-GET-COOL to book today. Homegrown service pros, financing made simple, comfort made easy.
Carrier, turn to the experts. A Carrier factory authorized dealer.
At Social Security, we are always thinking of ways to save you time and make things easier. That's why we created My Social Security. A My Social Security account allows you to access your earnings history and benefits information, request a replacement Social Security card, get a proof of income letter, estimate and apply for benefits, and more. Save time. Go online. Open a My Social Security account at ssa.gov/myaccount. Social Security. Securing today and tomorrow.
Produced at U.S. taxpayer expense.
You're listening to Midday. I'm Heather Peterson in for Maria Shilaos. While there's no imminent threat right now, the FBI is warning law enforcement around the West of potential retaliatory attacks from Iran. The warning says that Iran could launch offensive drones against California from ships in the ocean. ABC's Aaron Katursky explains.
This is an alert from the FBI to California police departments, and it came within the last few days, and it says that the FBI acquired recent information, probably in February of 2026, so just last month, that Iran is aspiring now to conduct a surprise attack using drones from an unidentified vessel off the West Coast against unspecified targets in California. So the idea here that police departments up and down the state have now been warned of is that Iran is looking to conduct some kind of a retaliatory strike on the U.S. homeland, on the West Coast, using a drone. And drones, Iran has certainly been using in this conflict, in this war with the United States and Israel. Launching drone attacks against the U.S. Embassy in Saudi Arabia, targets in Bahrain and Kuwait and elsewhere. This is warning police departments now in the United States, specifically in California, that Iran is aspiring to use those same kinds of drones here.
While the threat of drone attacks on the U.S. aren't imminent just yet, the threat from Iran against oil tankers near the Strait of Hormuz is immediate. Iran saying it has no intention of letting oil tankers and other ships through the strait, hoping this blockage will drive up prices around the world and make this conflict too costly for everyone else. Yesterday, we told you about mine-laying ships patrolling the region, laying traps to catch unsuspecting ships that try to make it through. Overnight, some of the ships who attempted to pass were attacked, setting ships ablaze and crew members jumping ship to find safety. ABC's Ian Pinnell is in Tel Aviv with more on how Iran continues to hit infrastructure around the Middle East.
If you think about this almost like an asymmetric conflict right now, Iran clearly has diminished firepower. The US and Israel have taken out its missile launchers, its missile storage, its drone capacity, not entirely, but significantly. It's down to about 10 to 20% of the capacity it had before the war. But Iran knows there are other ways to hurt the US. One is by targeting allied nations around the Gulf, like Kuwait and Saudi Arabia and Qatar and the UAE, hoping that those countries will then put pressure on President Trump to wind this up. And the other is by hurting Americans in their pocket, and that means driving up the price of oil.
If they do anything to stop the flow of oil or goods within the Strait of Hormuz, they will be hit by the world's most powerful military 20 times harder than they have been hit thus far.
20% of the world's oil supply, as well as other vital products like fertilizer, go through the Strait of Hormuz, this narrow stretch of waterway right by Iran. And Iran has, from the start of this war, exerted its ability to squeeze that strait to limit the amount of traffic that goes in. We've seen ships that were encouraged to go through there despite the threat from Iran by President Trump being attacked.
Attention all ships, from now on, all navigating through the Strait of Hormuz is forbidden.
There were reports late last night of other oil tankers also being struck, and we're already seeing the impact at the gas pump. Iran is threatening that it will drive the price of oil to over $200 a barrel. Now, it remains to be seen whether that's physically possible, but clearly the markets are worried, consumers are worried, and this will have political consequences for President Trump. And I think Iran knows that's how best to exert pressure on President Trump to end this war.
Around the world, several countries, including the United States, announcing that they would begin releasing oil from emergency reserves, all in an attempt to lower prices at the pump. That coming as Iran continues attacks on oil facilities throughout the Middle East.
To some extent, the Iranians have made no bones about it. I mean, we knew what they would do before this war started. They had limited capacity to potentially bring down American fighter jets and intercept incoming missiles, but most of those have now been disabled by US and Israeli action. This is, I think, in their eyes, their surest way of trying to bring an end to the war.
You just said it is a little excursion, and you said it is a war. So which one is it?
Well, it's both. It's both. It's an excursion that will keep us out of a war.
I mean, we've really had kind of mixed messages from the president. On one hand saying, look, the war's almost over, and then another hand talking about ramping up military strikes. And yesterday in Kentucky, I mean, he essentially said, we've won the war, but it's not over yet.
We've won. Let me tell you, we've won. You know, you never like to say too early you won. We won. We won the bet. In the first hour, it was over.
And so I think that also creates enormous instability for the markets and raises questions about, where this ends and how it ends and what victory looks like.
U.S. leaders continue to say that Iran's capabilities have been diminished, but the attacks still continue. There's been talk of possibly having the U.S. Navy intervene and guide oil tankers through the Strait of Hormuz, but nothing has been officially decided. Even if that's the direction the military chooses to go, it would take several days or even weeks to get the resources in place for this kind of a mission. Here in the States, there's still concern about drones, which can be launched from further distances and transported by much smaller vessels than, say, a missile. That's part of the reason for the alert along the West Coast, that they could be much more concealed than one would think. Here's ABC's Aaron Katursky again.
There is some kind of vessel that maybe a tanker, something like that Iran, in theory, would try to park off the coast, maybe in international waters, and deliver the drone that way. And really could be carried on any kind of vessel. Does that mean they're being carried by an individual in pieces to be put together? Does that mean they are going to be brought up through the border? Because we know that Iran has extensive presence in Mexico and in South America. They have relationships. We know they have the drone technology because the U.S. built its own drones based on Iranian attack drone technology. And now they have the incentive. This is just an alert for police departments in California to make them aware that this is something that Iran aspires to do. There's no certainty that this is going to happen, where exactly this would happen. We know that President Trump has been asked whether he's concerned of some kind of retaliatory strike on the United States. Wasn't asked about this specific intelligence.
And the president said he's not concerned, but clearly it's something the FBI is tracking just in case. It's 1:30, midday at KSL News Radio. Hello, I'm Heather Peterson. Some of the stories we're watching this hour. A suspected shooter is dead after police say he rammed his vehicle into a Michigan synagogue and began shooting. The latest details in just a moment. And Utah's housing crisis. How did the most recent legislative session address housing challenges in the state? We'll take a deep dive, plus KSL traffic.
A little bit of slowing due to road work on I-15 in Davis County. Heather?
KSL's top local stories in 1 minute. Right now, it is 1:30.
This is a special report from ABC News. I'm Michelle Franzen. In Michigan, police say a man intentionally drove into the Temple Israel in West Bloomfield today outside Detroit and was met by security, and say the suspect died in a shootout, according to law enforcement briefed on the investigation. Oakland County Sheriff Michael Bouchard says there was a school in the building and children were inside. No one was harmed.
We believe there is one individual deceased in the vehicle. It's been complicated because there was some fire, to say the least, with that vehicle. We believe that individual is deceased. No kids, this is the important thing, no kids or no staff was injured whatsoever.
Authorities say the scene remains active and are asking people to stay away. The Jewish Federation of Detroit, in a statement, says they're aware, and Jewish agencies were put on precautionary lockdown. The motive remains unknown, but comes as law enforcement across the country are on heightened alert due to the Iran war. This is ABC News.
KSL's top local story. A man was killed in what officials are calling an industrial fatality at Kennecott this morning. This was at the Bingham Canyon mine. There's very little we know at the moment, but Unified Fire told us earlier that a patient had to be flown by helicopter to the hospital. Other local stories KSL is following. The Weber County Transfer Station will remain open despite rumors that it would be closing. KSL News Radio's Britt Johnson reports.
Weber County Community Development Department Director Sean Wilkinson says they've been transparent with local communities that they've been struggling with revenue, but they have no plans to close as of yet. But that does mean major changes will have to be made by scaling back their operation, including possible layoffs.
A new transfer station opened up nearby a year ago, and since then, Weber County's transfer station's revenue has taken a 40,000-ton hit. But they want to be able to stay open for residents who have used their services for the past 30 years. Utah State University researchers are working to help train a navigator to help families learn about early intervention and screening for hearing loss.
Senior researcher Allison Ward says there are many reasons a family might not return for a second screening for hearing loss. The family may have been told the baby failed because they had fluid buildup, they could be unsure of what their next steps even are, or they may even be lacking transportation. USU now has a $2 million grant to work on training navigators who will work personally with these families and healthcare providers to show them the next steps and get the children the care they need.
KSL News Radio's Brianna Willis reporting. Your money at this moment, the Dow is down 590 points today. The S&P is down 83 and the NASDAQ down 336. Traffic and weather together brought to you by UCCU. Up to $500 for loan transfers. Love where you bank. Here's Ricky Meese.
We do have a crash with possible injuries at 3rd West and 1900 South. A KSL listener tipping us off to a fender bender. I believe they mean Bangerter Highway going southbound as you're approaching 114th South. While you're planning your day, plan for comfort too with the Good Feet store. Find the location nearest you at goodfeet.com. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
No rain expected the next couple days. Today we're looking at a high of 67. Tomorrow 69 with some clouds. Then a mild Saturday expected at 65 degrees before a cool down to 50 on Sunday. Right now it's 66 degrees and mostly cloudy at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios.
Mornings are for recharging.
And they're for starting your day right.
We volunteer to join you in the car. Get news and weather at 102.7 FM during the most important part of your day.
Andy and Amanda, each morning between 5 and 9 on KSL News Radio.
Any Hour Services free furnace sale is going on right now. If you haven't scheduled your free estimate yet, do it now. Call Any Hour Services today or schedule online at anyhourservices.com.
Every day here in Utah, people turn to KSL News Radio for one simple reason: trust. Trust for our reporters, hosts, our coverage, and trust in the businesses heard right here. I've met so many of our listeners over the years, and they'll tell you KSL is part of their daily routine, in the car, at work, at home. And when they hear your business here, it carries the weight of that trust. It isn't just another ad. It's a recommendation coming from a reliable source. When you advertise on KSL News Radio, you reach a loyal, highly engaged audience who listens intentionally. They show up for breaking news, accurate information, and meaningful conversations. And because of that connection, they respond. And when you pair our on-air credibility with digital tools like display advertising, social media, streaming audio, search, geo-targeting, and retargeting, you get a full funnel strategy that works and reaches the right people at the right time. Get marketing that truly moves the needle. Partner with the voice Utah trusts. KSL. Learn more at kslnewsradio.com/advertise.
Hello, this is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. If you or someone you care about is facing a family law issue, let us set up a 1-hour Cordell Consult. The Cordell Consult is a meeting with a local attorney who will give you clear guidance about your options, whether it's a separation, a postnuptial agreement, divorce, or custody. Take the first step. Visit CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com.
This Friday from 10 to 1, the movie show comes to Sound Sleep. But first, take time to learn about a better night's rest. Sound Sleep delivers oral appliance therapy that treats sleep apnea without the use of CPAP machines. They're professionally fit, warranted, and covered by most major medical insurance. End the days of a poor night's sleep. With offices from Clearfield to St. George, Sound Sleep will help. Call Sound Sleep at 801-716-8672 today.
You're listening to Midday. I'm Heather Peterson. Maria Shilaos has the day off.
Eye on the Hill 2026. Special coverage on KSL News Radio.
Utah's housing shortage, part of the affordability crisis discussed during the 2026 legislative general session that just wrapped up. It's been a problem for several years, many Utahns getting priced out of their neighborhoods, unable to secure long-term permanent housing. The governor says he's committed to building 35,000 starter homes, but many have said we're far behind that goal. Today on Midday, we're going in depth on Utah's housing crisis and how lawmakers tried to make things better during the session. I spoke with Steve Waldrop, senior advisor to Governor Cox for housing strategy, to get his reaction to the session and how some of the bills will affect housing in the state.
There were a couple that, one that passed at 10:52 on the last night, which was very exciting, or 11:52 on the last night, which was very exciting to get it through just under the wire. That was HB 492, and that creates two funds for infrastructure related to housing. One of the big challenges that we have in our state is that we have thousands, tens of thousands of lots that are permitted for housing that aren't being built on. And understanding that supply is our biggest issue, that we need more, the permitted lots aren't being built on because we have a lack of regional infrastructure. So think water tanks and sewer lines and sewer plants and major arterial roads and those kind of things. And so HB 492 created two funds. One is $150 million for Salt Lake County, a grant fund for infrastructure related to housing development, and the other created a $100 million revolving loan fund for the entire state for infrastructure related to housing. And so these aren't curb and gutter and sidewalks and subdivisions. These are large regional infrastructure projects, and they will unlock thousands of housing units. That money will unlock thousands of housing units across the state. So we're really excited about that prospect of being able to do some of these big infrastructure projects that have been holding up the delivery of more housing units. Okay, yeah. No, that did seem pretty significant to me as well. The other one that stuck out to me was one that dealt with ADUs and required cities with at least 5,000 people to permit detached accessory dwelling units and put some policies in place. Any thoughts on that one? Yeah, that's been something that's been worked on for a couple of years now. A lot of cities are already allowing for ADUs, which allows somebody to build another dwelling unit on their property, and they can rent it out. They can have family live there. It's the least expensive, addition to supply. But there are some cities that haven't stepped up yet on that, and so this requires them to create rules around permitting ADUs in their city borders, and the lots have to be a certain size, and there's some common sense rules around it. But permitting ADUs is a huge step forward for creating additional supply in our state. Yeah, absolutely.
There was also a House concurrent resolution that supports the implementation of the Utah Housing Strategic Plan. So I was curious, how does this support from the legislature actually help housing in the state?
Yeah, the resolution ratified the work that has been done over the last 18 months. Over the last year and a half, there's been a concerted effort to create a strategic housing plan that's statewide, and there were literally hundreds of stakeholders involved in this process: the League of Cities and Towns, the counties, developers, architects, engineers. Pretty much everybody that had a hand in the housing world was invited to participate and help craft a strategic set of policies that we can implement. And one of those was additional housing development units, so ADUs. So that policy has already been implemented this session. Another was the infrastructure initiative, and so we're already seeing the fruits of the effort of that group to push good policy forward in our state. Last year, during the legislative session, there were a couple of bills that dealt with the creation of this plan, and so rather than have the legislature come up with a plan and have the governor's office come up with a plan and have the League of Cities and Towns come up with a plan, we decided we would just work together and collaborate on one plan that implemented and engaged everybody in the process. And so that's what that resolution did, was ratify the work of the group that created that plan, kind of 25 top things to do, and give some direction as we look at additional legislation going forward to create additional supply in our state.
Okay. Is that synonymous with the governor's plan to build 35,000 starter homes? Is that the same plan?
It is. Yeah, the governor set a goal 3 years ago now, 2.5 years ago, to build 35,000 starter homes. And so that was the beginning of this notion that we need to have a plan on how to accomplish that goal. And so one of the priorities of that plan is to build starter homes. And the reality is starter homes are the hardest thing to build in our market right now. They require the smallest lots, which causes anxiety in the cities and in neighborhoods. People want large lots, generally speaking, but large lots are also expensive and tend to lead to larger, more expensive homes. And so having small lots and small homes on small lots and creating the opportunity for people to get in on the ground floor of homeownership is really critical. And the market is not headed there on its own right now because of our supply shortage. If you're a builder and you can build thing A and it's going to sell for $750,000 and you make $200
family-run RV dealership. We strive hard to find the very best RVs for the price. With 4 locations, over 1,000 RVs in stock, 42 service bays, and 4 super parts stores, we're sure to help take your family on the best RV vacation. Check out our perfect family bunkhouse trailer, the 26BH, that sleeps 9 for $19,995 or $227 a month. Zero down. Life is short. Enjoy it. North Murray, South Murray, Payson, and Pocatello. ParisRV.com.
As we've been talking about, Utah's legislature passed a few bills this session to support the state's housing goals. I spoke about it with housing advocate Turner Bitton. He's the founder and executive director at Wasatch Advocates for Livable Communities. And I asked him what he thought about one bill that passed called the State Housing Infrastructure Partnership Fund and Board. It aims to unlock state money to help cities pay for infrastructure like water, sewer, and roads for new housing projects. Do you think this will make a difference for housing in the state?
We do. And in the short term, what we expect is some problematic properties where, say, you have the opportunity to build additional housing, but older infrastructure requires an upgrade before that housing can come to fruition. We expect that to be the place where this has the largest impact. But we were excited to see legislators talking about infrastructure because oftentimes when we're talking about increasing the housing supply, especially in older, more established neighborhoods, the infrastructure isn't always ready for that housing. And so it was exciting to us to see the state see the issue that infrastructure presents for the creation of new housing.
Okay, so what was your overall takeaway from the housing bills passed during the legislative session? How did you feel like it went?
Look, they were a step in the right direction, but there's so much more to do. One of the things that we found unfortunate about the legislature is there's an unwillingness right now to establish state guardrails to minimize the impact of local control. So we often talk about different barriers to housing, but the reality remains that local zoning and local governments remain one of the biggest barriers to additional housing. You see this on ADUs. You see this on affordable housing. You see it on missing middle. And so while there was a lot of progress made, there remains a lot of work to do. And so in future years, we want to see more action to really get at the root cause of the housing crisis, which is local land use decision-making. And so we need to see additional action in future legislative sessions to really get at the heart of the issue.
Okay. And this is kind of a pivot, but speaking of local planning, tonight the Salt Lake City Planning Commission is going to discuss a proposal called the Expanding Housing Options. And this changes zoning rules to give property owners in low-density neighborhoods more options for how they use their property. Does your organization have thoughts on this proposal?
Yes, so this is a core priority of ours this year. We support this. We've actually got a petition and a sign-on letter for organizations or groups that want to sign on and support. But what we know from Seattle and Durham and Portland and Houston, which have all implemented reforms like these, is that land use, local lot size restrictions are one of the key barriers to affordability. And so the proposal expanding housing options really gets at the heart of one of the fundamental issues in Salt Lake City, which is that most of our residential land is not allowed to be built out in terms of housing to its highest potential. And so this is a pathway to new ownership opportunities. It's a pathway to affordability. And more importantly, it's a pathway to establishing housing in neighborhoods that are already built out, that are walkable, that have amenities, that have the ability to handle new housing. And so it's the key to achieving the mayor's stated goal and the council's stated goal of getting more families back downtown. We just submitted a letter to Planning Commission on Tuesday that lays out some suggested changes to the policy that we think would take it even a step further and make it more realistic for local builders to be able to create housing in these neighborhoods. But overall, the proposal is well thought out. It's been crafted well by the planners and has the potential to be really transformative for Salt Lake City's future.
That was Turner Bitton, the founder and executive director at Wasatch Advocates for Livable Communities. Local artists, listen up. After the break, we'll talk about your chance to connect art with animals and nature in a new initiative at Utah's Hogle Zoo. But first, it's traffic on KSL News Radio, brought to you by UCCU. Direct deposit gets you $300. Love where you bank. Ricky?
Cleanup continues on a small crash at 3rd West 1900 South. Salt Lake County freeways all clear, but some slowing due to road work southbound I-15 going from Kaysville to Farmington. Elevate your dining at The Roof, now serving lunch and dinner. Enjoy city views and fan favorites like Funeral Potato Bites and the Bacon Fig Flatbread. Visit theroofslc.com. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
I'm here with Monty from Connecticut Quality Water Systems of Salt Lake, an authorized independent dealer. So, Monty, I wonder if you know someone like this. He's the ultimate DIY guy. Restores classic cars, builds his own deck, and even smokes his own brisket.
Sounds like a talented guy.
He is. But get this, his other weekend hobby is troubleshooting his water softener. He's always down there resetting the timer or fiddling with the circuit board.
See, Doug, that's where I draw the line. Smoking a brisket is a great weekend project.
Yeah.
Fixing an electric water softener is just a chore.
Exactly. He thinks he's saved money by buying the bargain brand, but he's paying for it with his Saturdays.
That's the Connecticut difference. Our systems are premium because they are non-electric and fully automated. No computers to fry, no timers to reset. We install it and you get back to the hobbies you actually enjoy.
If you want soft water, do what I did and leave that to Connecticut. It runs on water power, not willpower. Learn more at softwaterutah.com. That's softwaterutah.com.
Sign up for KSL Text Alerts. Get breaking news and traffic updates by texting the word news to 57500. Want access to exclusive contests? Text contest to 57500. Jazz fans, text the word jazz for breaking jazz updates. And Cougar fans, text BYU to 57500 for the latest on the Cougars. Message and data rates may apply.
As a social influencer, my days can be busy. 4 a.m., I hit the gym. 4:32,